the dream that our parents and grandparents fought and died and sacrificed for. America, hope is making a comeback.
Just moments ago, Michelle Obama made a shocking announcement regarding the changes in her life and career in particular, and the Obama family in general. This announcement has attracted the attention of millions of people around the world, once again proving that the influence of the former First Lady is still very large. Stay tuned to listen to her announcement. Former First Lady Michelle Obama delivered a powerful and memorable speech during the second night of the 2024 Democratic National Convention. Known for her eloquence and ability to connect with audiences, Michelle's presence on stage was nothing short of electric. Her address was not only a political statement, but also a reflection of her deep commitment to the values she and her husband, former President Barack Obama, have championed for years. As she took the stage, Michelle immediately captured the audience's attention, both with her words and her appearance. Her outfit, stylish and bold, subtly alluded to the confidence and poise that have made her a beloved figure in American politics. But it wasn't just her attire that had people talking. It was her willingness to tackle controversial topics head-on, particularly her sharp critique of former President Donald J. Trump, who was then a Republican presidential candidate. Michelle wasted no time addressing Trump's limited, narrow view of the world, a perspective that she argued was out of touch with the diverse and complex realities of the country. She cleverly used humor to deliver her critique, seamlessly working in a jab at Trump's use of the term black jobs. This term, which Trump had used in a tone-deaf attempt to address unemployment in black communities, became a focal point of Michelle's speech. With her trademark wit, she posed the rhetorical question, who's going to tell him that the job he's currently seeking might just be one of those black jobs? The crowd's reaction was immediate and thunderous. Applause and cheers erupted, filling the convention hall as Michelle's words resonated with a wide swath of the audience. Her ability to weave humor into a serious critique demonstrated her skill as a public speaker and her deep understanding of the political landscape. By framing Trump's presidential aspirations as a black job, Michelle not only highlighted the absurdity of his rhetoric, but also underscored the importance of diversity and inclusion in leadership roles. However, it wasn't just Trump's name that was on everyone's lips following Michelle's address. Social media quickly lit up with references to Melania Trump, the former First Lady, who had previously been accused of plagiarizing parts of Michelle's 2008 Democratic National Convention speech. This controversy had made Melania a subject of scrutiny whenever Michelle spoke, and 2024 was no exception. As Michelle's speech spread across social media, users couldn't resist making jokes at Melania's expense. One Twitter user quipped, "Michelle doing all she can to make sure Melania doesn't plagiarize this speech," a clear nod to the 2016 scandal. The comment was widely shared and liked, reflecting the collective memory of the incident and the humorous anticipation that Melania might once again borrow from Michelle's playbook. Another user humorously imagined an even more outrageous scenario, tweeting, "I swear if Melania shows up tomorrow with long, knotless braids braided into a larger braid, I'm fighting everyone." This tweet, which referenced both Michelle's signature hairstyle and the possibility of Melania copying not just her words, but her entire look, encapsulated the playful yet pointed tone of the online conversation. As you may recall, among the most talked-about moments of that election cycle was Melania Trump's speech at the Republican National Convention, RNC. As Donald J. Trump was vying for the White House, Melania took the stage to deliver a speech intended to introduce her to the American public as a potential First Lady. However, what was meant to be a defining moment of grace and eloquence quickly turned into a controversy that would haunt her for years. On the evening of July 18, 2016, Melania Trump stood before the RNC audience in Cleveland, Ohio, and delivered a speech that, at first glance, seemed polished and heartfelt. She spoke about the values of hard work, respect, and integrity, principles she claimed were close to her heart and had shaped her upbringing. The audience applauded, and for a brief moment it appeared that Melania had succeeded in presenting herself as a poised and thoughtful figure, capable of standing beside her husband in his quest for the presidency. However, the accolades were short-lived. Almost immediately after Melania left the stage, commentators, journalists, and social media users began to notice something uncanny about her speech. As the night wore on, the internet buzzed with mounting speculation that Melania's words bore an uncanny resemblance to another speech delivered 8 years earlier by then First Lady Michelle Obama at the 2008 Democratic National Convention, DNC. The similarities were not just in tone or theme, but in specific phrases and sentences, which appeared to have been lifted directly from Michelle's speech. By the next morning, what had started as whispers of suspicion had exploded into a full-blown media firestorm. Side-by-side comparisons of the two speeches began circulating widely, showing that entire sections of Melania's address were nearly identical to Michelle's. For example, when Michelle said in 2008, "You work hard for what you want in life," Melania echoed with, "From a young age, my parents impressed on me the values that you work hard for what you want in life." The echoes continued line after line, making it impossible to ignore the striking parallels. Political pundits and commentators were quick to weigh in, and the consensus was damning. This was not a case of mere coincidence or shared ideas. It was blatant plagiarism. The revelation was particularly embarrassing for the Trump campaign, which had prided itself on being original, outsider-driven, and not like the others. The plagiarism scandal cast a long shadow over Melania's credibility and raised serious questions about the campaign's competence and ethics. The Trump campaign initially responded with a mix of defiance and denial. Some surrogates attempted to downplay the controversy, arguing that Melania had simply been inspired by Michelle Obama and that the similarities were a result of common values rather than direct copying. Others sought to shift blame onto the speechwriters, claiming that Melania had not written the speech herself and was unaware of the plagiarized content. One campaign statement even suggested that the similarities were due to a team of writers who took notes on her life's inspirations, and in some instances included fragments that reflected her own thinking. However, these explanations did little to quell the outrage. The media continued to dig deeper, uncovering more evidence of the copied passages and further discrediting the Trump campaign's attempts at damage control. Late-night comedians and satirical shows had a field day with the scandal, and the image of Melania as a plagiarist became a recurring punchline. It was in this charged atmosphere that Meredith McIver, a staff writer and longtime employee of the Trump Organization, stepped forward to take responsibility for the speech's content. In a public statement, McIver acknowledged that she was the one who had inadvertently included passages from Michelle Obama's 2008 speech in Melania's address. Her confession provided much-needed clarity on how the plagiarism had occurred, but it also raised questions about the inner workings of the Trump campaign and the vetting process that had allowed such a mistake to slip through the cracks. According to McIver, the controversy stemmed from a conversation she had with Melania while drafting the speech. "A person she has always liked is Michelle Obama," McIver explained, revealing that Melania had admired certain passages from Obama's 2008 DNC speech and shared them as examples of the tone and message she wanted to convey. As McIver listened, she jotted down the phrases that resonated with Melania, intending to use them as inspiration for the final draft. In what would prove to be a critical oversight, McIver later included some of these phrases in the speech's draft, believing them to be original ideas rather than direct quotes. "I wrote them down and later included some of the phrasing in the draft that ultimately became the final speech," she confessed. However, she did not cross-check the text against Michelle Obama's speech. a lapse that would have devastating consequences once the speech was delivered to a national audience. "I did not check Mrs. Obama's speeches," McIver admitted. "That was my mistake, and I feel terrible for the chaos I have caused Melania and the Trumps, as well as Mrs. Obama. No harm was meant." McIver's statement was a rare moment of transparency amid the often opaque world of political campaigns. By taking full responsibility, she attempted to quell the controversy and shift the focus away from Melania and the campaign itself. However, the damage had already been done. The incident not only embarrassed the Trump campaign, but also tarnished Melania's public image, casting doubt on her authenticity and independence as a public figure. The fallout from the scandal was immediate and far-reaching. Critics seized on the plagiarism as evidence of the Trump campaign's incompetence and lack of integrity, while supporters scrambled to defend Melania and downplay the significance of the incident. The media frenzy only intensified as late-night comedians, talk show hosts, and social media users relentlessly mocked the situation. Memes comparing Melania to Michelle Obama went viral, and the phrase "Melania Trump plagiarism" became a permanent fixture in the political lexicon. Despite the widespread criticism, McIver's admission did offer a semblance of resolution to the scandal. She revealed that she had offered her resignation to the Trump family, believing that the magnitude of her mistake warranted such a step. However, in a show of loyalty, the Trumps refused to accept her resignation. "People make innocent mistakes," they assured her, signaling their willingness to move past the incident and continue working together. This gesture of forgiveness from the Trumps was notable, as it highlighted the close-knit and often forgiving nature of Trump's inner circle. However, for the public and the media, the incident would not be so easily forgotten. The plagiarism scandal became a lasting stain on Melania's tenure as First Lady, one that would resurface in discussions of her public role and contributions for years to come. As the 2024 election approached, the memory of the 2016 scandal lingered in the collective consciousness. Michelle Obama, still a highly respected and influential figure in the Democratic Party, took the stage at the 2024 DNC with the same poise and eloquence that had characterized her 2008 speech. Once again, her words resonated with a broad audience, offering a message of hope, unity, and progress. Now, let's talk about Michelle Obama's style changes in recent years. When Michelle Obama became the First Lady of the United States in 2009, she brought with her a fresh, elegant aesthetic that quickly captivated the nation. Her style, characterized by a shoulder-length bob and chic yet conservative dresses, was both approachable and aspirational, resonating with a broad audience. Her fashion choices were deliberate, designed to communicate a message of sophistication and accessibility without overshadowing her role as a public servant. In her memoir, Becoming, she reflected on the careful balance she had to maintain, writing, "When it came to my choices, I tried to be somewhat unpredictable, to prevent anyone from ascribing any sort of message to what I wore. It was a thin line to walk. I was supposed to stand out without overshadowing others, to blend in but not fade away." During her time in the White House, Michelle Obama's wardrobe was a masterclass in diplomacy through fashion. She skillfully navigated the expectations placed upon her, often opting for American designers, which subtly promoted national pride and supported the domestic fashion industry. Her outfits were thoughtful and intentional, whether she was hosting state dinners or visiting local communities. The way she presented herself became a symbol of her broader mission to inspire and connect with people across the country from all walks of life. Michelle's hairstyle during this period also became a defining feature of her public persona. The shoulder-length bob she favored was polished and professional, fitting seamlessly with her role as First Lady. It conveyed a sense of stability and grace, reinforcing her image as a steady and supportive partner to President Barack Obama. Her hair, like her clothing, was a statement in its own right, one that communicated strength, reliability, and an understanding of the cultural significance of appearance in the public eye. However, after leaving the White House, Michelle Obama's style began to evolve, reflecting her transition from First Lady to private citizen and influential public figure in her own right. With the pressures of the presidency behind her, she embraced a more relaxed and playful approach to fashion and beauty, experimenting with different looks that showcased her personality and creativity. One of the most notable changes has been in her hairstyles. Free from the constraints of her former role, Michelle Obama has explored a variety of styles that express her individuality and confidence, from curly spirals to sleek straightened hair, and from long micro braids to the recent giant waist-length braid. Her hair has become a canvas for self-expression. This evolution in her appearance has been met with enthusiasm from her fans, who see it as a reflection of her ongoing journey of self-discovery and empowerment. On National Book Lovers Day, Michelle Obama shared a photo on social media that perfectly encapsulated her new era of style. In the image, she was browsing a bookstore, looking effortlessly cool with an oversized braid that cascaded down her back. The reaction from her followers was immediate and overwhelmingly positive. Comments poured in, praising her for embracing her natural beauty and for continuing to inspire with her ever-evolving look. "The coolest First Lady ever," one Instagram user gushed. "Come through, braid," another exclaimed, capturing the excitement that her bold new hairstyle generated. This particular look, with its extra big braid, symbolized more than just a change in hairstyle. It represented Michelle Obama's broader journey into a phase of life where she could fully embrace and celebrate her identity. No longer bound by the formalities of the White House, she has entered what many have called her fun hair era, a time when she is free to experiment with her appearance in ways that reflect her true self. In 2019, Michelle Obama made headlines by revealing her natural curls on X, formerly known as Twitter. This was a departure from the straightened hairstyles she often wore while in the White House, and it represented a reclaiming of her personal style. The reaction from the public was overwhelmingly positive. One fan's comment, "I love your natural curls. Little girls are paying attention," reflected the broader impact of her decision. It was not just a change in hairstyle, but a statement of authenticity and self-acceptance that resonated deeply with many of her followers. Following this, Michelle Obama continued to experiment with her look while promoting her book, The Light We Carry. During this period, she showcased various trendy and playful hairstyles, including tiny braids. This new style was paired with colorful, fun clothing, further emphasizing her shift towards a more dynamic and personal fashion statement. This evolution in her style was not just about aesthetics, but also about expressing her individuality and breaking free from the constraints of her former role. Her hairstylist, Jerry Radway, shared insights into this transformation with Essence. Radway revealed that Michelle had long been interested in braids, but was unsure about which style to choose. The idea to try braids was influenced by Michelle's daughter, Malia, who had worn braids while in California. Michelle, inspired by Malia's look, decided to give braids a try for herself. Radway's involvement was instrumental in this transition, as she helped Michelle explore different braiding styles and find what suited her best. During her time as First Lady, Michelle Obama navigated a complex landscape of public expectations and personal expression. One notable aspect of this balancing act was her decision to straighten her hair rather than wear braids. This choice, she later revealed, was influenced by her belief that the American public might not yet be ready to embrace such a distinctive and culturally significant hairstyle. In an era when First Ladies were often expected to project an image of polished professionalism, Michelle Obama's decision to forego braids was a strategic one. She opted for straightened hair, which aligned with the more conventional and widely accepted standards of formal presentation expected from the First Lady. The straightened look, with its clean lines and classic appearance, allowed her to fulfill the role's demands while still showcasing her unique style within those constraints. However, Michelle Obama's personal desire to explore different hairstyles, including braids, remained strong. Her natural inclination towards braids was not simply a fashion statement, but also a reflection of her identity and heritage. Yet, the fear that braids might not be accepted by the public during her tenure as First Lady led her to maintain a more traditional appearance. This tension between personal expression and public perception was resolved when Michelle Obama left the White House. Freed from the formal constraints of her role, she embraced a more diverse and expressive personal style. This shift was particularly evident during the unveiling of her official White House portrait in 2022. For this significant occasion, Obama chose to wear her hair in pleats, a style that nodded to both her personal tastes and cultural heritage. The choice to wear braids for her portrait was symbolic and meaningful. It represented a reclaiming of her identity and a celebration of cultural heritage that had been set aside during her time in office. White House correspondent Eugene Daniels underscored the significance of this moment by praising Obama's hairstyle and highlighting its importance to the Black community. Daniels tweeted, "Something that will mean a lot to Black people across the country. Former First Lady Michelle Obama wearing braids at the unveiling of her official White House portrait." We've known Michelle Obama had left the White House for a while, but none of us could have imagined that she had completely left Obama's career. Being the first family in the United States comes with undeniable perks: luxurious limousines, private jets, a vast clothing budget, and access to high-profile events and celebrities. Yet beneath this glamorous exterior lies a complex and challenging reality, as Michelle Obama experienced during her time in the White House. The allure of international travel and celebrity hobnobbing might seem like the ultimate privilege, but for Michelle Obama, the role of First Lady was fraught with significant emotional and psychological challenges. One of the most difficult aspects was the constant exposure to the world's most pressing problems. While the general public only glimpses these issues through news reports and headlines, the First Family has a front-row seat to global events and crises. This reality brought an intense and often overwhelming awareness of the world's suffering, including wars, poverty, and natural disasters. During Barack Obama's presidency, Michelle was not only a supportive partner, but also a witness to the immense pressure and burden of presidential duties. The scope of her husband's responsibilities meant that they were privy to information and situations that could be both alarming and disheartening. For Michelle, this access to the raw and unfiltered state of the world could be overwhelming. She often found herself grappling with the weight of these issues, which were compounded by the demands of her public role. In an intimate conversation with Jay Shetty on the On Purpose podcast in January 2024, Michelle Obama provided a candid glimpse into the less glamorous side of being First Lady. She spoke about the emotional toll of being so closely connected to the inner workings of global affairs. "There's such a thing as knowing too much," Michelle shared. "And when you've been married to the President of the United States who knows everything about everything in the world, sometimes you just want to turn it off." Michelle Obama has been candid about the often grim realities that come with being married to the President of the United States. During an interview with Jay Shetty, she revealed the darker aspects of her experience as First Lady, underscoring how the knowledge of state secrets and global affairs can be deeply unsettling. "Having the inside track on world affairs can be terrifying," Michelle said, reflecting on the weight of her unique position. As First Lady, Michelle was inevitably privy to sensitive information about national security and international events, much of which was concealed from the general public. She described the experience of seeing the Secret Service arrive with urgency or receiving classified documents with a sense of foreboding. "When the Secret Service comes knocking, you know that something is going down," Michelle explained. "Something that regular citizens are blissfully unaware of. It's like I don't want to know what was in that folder that you just got that made you quiet. I don't want to know why the security just pulled you over. This level of secrecy created a constant undercurrent of anxiety, as Michelle was often left to grapple with the implications of information she wasn't always fully briefed on, but was acutely aware of. Michelle's awareness of the gravity of the situations being handled behind closed doors took a toll on her peace of mind. She admitted that the things she knew during her time in the White House were a significant source of sleepless nights. "What keeps me up are the things that I know," she said, capturing the emotional and psychological burden that came with her role. Her experiences in the White House also solidified her resolve regarding her own political aspirations. In a speech at SXSW in March 2016, Michelle firmly dismissed the idea of pursuing a political career herself. "No, not going to do it," she stated unequivocally. Michelle elaborated on her decision by highlighting the impact that her husband's presidency had on their daughters, Malia and Sasha. "They handled it with grace and with poise, but enough is enough," she said. Michelle's concern for her children's well-being was a significant factor in her decision, reflecting her desire to shield them from further public scrutiny and stress. Moreover, Michelle emphasized that there are many ways to make a meaningful impact in the world beyond holding the highest office in the land. "There are so many ways to impact the world. You don't have to be president of the United States," she asserted, underscoring her belief that contributions to society can be made through various avenues without the need for a presidential role. In a November 2018 interview with Oprah Winfrey, Michelle Obama offered a rare and candid glimpse into the everyday life inside the White House. Describing her experience, she likened it to living in the fanciest hotel, where every whim and need is attended to by a highly professional and extensive staff. "It's like living in the fanciest hotel," Michelle remarked, highlighting the opulence and convenience of life in the executive mansion. The staff, including butlers in tuxedos, were available to cater to every need, even serving breakfast with an impeccable level of service. However, despite the luxury, Michelle and Barack Obama were keenly aware of the importance of maintaining a sense of normalcy and grounding for their daughters, Malia and Sasha. One particular aspect that Michelle adjusted was the formal attire of the staff. "We're having pancakes in the morning. It's just crazy to have a man with a tuxedo coming when you got some little girls at a sleepover," she explained. To create a more relaxed environment, they decided to ditch the tuxedos for the breakfast service. "We canceled the tuxedos. It's like you'll take those tuxedos off and wear some polo shirts and some slacks," Michelle said, illustrating their efforts to make the White House feel more like a home and less like a grand impersonal hotel. Despite these adjustments to make their living conditions more relatable, the Obamas' time in the White House was far from easy. Michelle delved into the complexities and pressures of being the first Black family to inhabit the White House, revealing that it came with significant responsibilities and expectations. In an episode of The Light podcast, she discussed the weight of this responsibility. "It was no accident that the administration was scandal-free," Michelle said, underscoring the deliberate efforts they made to maintain a high standard of conduct. She acknowledged that their actions were scrutinized more intensely due to their historic role, and this scrutiny extended to their children as well. Michelle emphasized that their daughters, Malia and Sasha, were acutely aware of the additional pressure on them to present themselves well. "It was no accident that our children had to show up right in the world," she noted. The expectation was that any misstep or youthful indiscretion would not be seen as a typical part of growing up, but rather as a reflection of the broader image of Black families in the public eye. "They carried the burden of making sure they weren't messy because it wouldn't have been laughed off. It wouldn't have been just, oh, it's youthful or whatever," Michelle said. Instead, any perceived misstep would have been interpreted as a statement about the soul of Black folks, illustrating the high stakes and the intense scrutiny faced by the first Black family in the White House. In addition, during their time in the White House, Sasha and Malia Obama faced a unique set of challenges, despite their privileged position as the daughters of a former president. Michelle Obama, fully aware of the intense public scrutiny and the pressures that came with living in the White House, enforced a set of strict rules designed to shape her daughters into well-respected and grounded individuals. When the Obamas first moved into the White House in January 2009, Sasha was just 7 years old, and Malia was 10. This transition marked the beginning of what would be an 8-year period during which the two girls would grow up under the relentless gaze of the public and media. Michelle Obama took on the formidable task of ensuring that her daughters not only adapted to this extraordinary environment, but also thrived within it. In her interview on the Moments That Make Us podcast, Michelle reflected on the challenges of raising her daughters in such an intense spotlight. "I had to raise them to be stand-up young people on their own, especially as the daughters of a former president," she shared. Michelle's commitment to instilling strong values and a sense of responsibility in Sasha and Malia was paramount. She knew that their actions and behavior would be continuously observed, and she wanted them to develop into individuals who were confident, respectful, and self-assured. To achieve this, Michelle implemented a range of strict rules and expectations for her daughters. Her approach was not merely about maintaining order, but about preparing Sasha and Malia for the complexities of life as public figures. The discipline she instilled in them was aimed at ensuring they could handle the pressures of their unique situation with grace and integrity. Michelle's approach to parenting in the White House was also reflective of her broader philosophy about family and responsibility. She was determined to shield her daughters from the trappings of fame and ensure that they understood the importance of being grounded and respectful. This involved setting high standards for their behavior and making sure they were aware of the responsibilities that came with their father's role as president. The rigorous standards Michelle set were not just about discipline, but also about providing Sasha and Malia with the tools they needed to succeed in a world that would scrutinize them more closely than most. Her efforts were aimed at helping them navigate the challenges of growing up in the public eye while maintaining their sense of self and their values. In her conversation on the Moments That Make Us podcast, Michelle shared her philosophy on raising her daughters in such an extraordinary environment. She explained, "Well, those girls had to be smart and confident and independent straight away, even when they were living in a house with butlers and maids and florists." Michelle's perspective was grounded in the reality that their time in the White House was temporary, and her goal was to prepare them for the world beyond the mansion. Understanding that their stay in the White House was not permanent, Michelle focused on equipping Sasha and Malia with the skills and independence they would need to navigate life on their own. Her approach was to instill values and responsibilities that would serve them well long after they left the presidential residence. "But I was raising them thinking, you're not going to live here and with me forever, so I've got to hand you your life soon and let you manage it," she said, reflecting her intention to prepare them for a future beyond the unique privileges and constraints of their current environment. Michelle's parenting methods were notably disciplined, emphasizing a sense of normalcy and responsibility despite the luxurious setting. She implemented household rules that were designed to teach her daughters the importance of hard work and self-reliance. "They have to make their beds. They have to clean up their rooms," Michelle revealed. These daily chores were not optional, but a fundamental part of their routine. The Obamas' daughters also had to complete their chores before receiving their allowance, a practice aimed at reinforcing the value of earning and managing their own money. In addition to household responsibilities, Michelle placed restrictions on technology use, allowing Sasha and Malia access to the internet only for school-related activities. Aside from daily chores, Michelle also kept technology for the weekends and only let them use the internet for school, she noted. This restriction was intended to limit distractions and ensure that their focus remained on their education and personal development. Michelle also emphasized the importance of physical activity and resilience through sports. She required her daughters to participate in 2 different sports, viewing it as an opportunity for personal growth. "I want them to understand what it feels like to do something you don't like and to improve," Michelle explained. This approach was designed to help them develop perseverance and the ability to overcome challenges, skills that are valuable both in sports and in life. Now, a few years after leaving the White House, people are curious about Michelle Obama's work, especially after separating from her husband. We all know during her tenure as First Lady of the United States, Michelle Obama made significant contributions that extended beyond traditional roles. One of her most notable initiatives was the creation of a vegetable garden on the south lawn of the White House, which became a hallmark of her time in the role. In March 2009, Michelle Obama spearheaded the planting of what would come to be known as the White House Kitchen Garden, often referred to as Michelle's Garden. This project was more than just a personal interest. It represented her commitment to promoting healthy eating and sustainable practices. The garden was meticulously designed and planted with a variety of vegetables, fruits, and herbs. Michelle's vision was to create a space that not only provided fresh produce for the Obama family and their guests, but also served as an educational tool and a symbol of healthy living. The garden quickly proved to be a resounding success. It became an integral part of the White House's culinary operations, supplying the presidential residence with approximately 2,000 pounds of food each year. The produce from the garden was used in meals prepared for the first family and their guests, highlighting the benefits of homegrown, organic ingredients. This initiative also underscored Michelle Obama's broader campaign to encourage healthier eating habits among Americans, particularly children. In addition to serving the White House, any surplus produce from the garden was donated to a local charity in Washington, D.C., dedicated to feeding those in need. This aspect of the garden's operation not only contributed to the local community, but also demonstrated Michelle's commitment to social responsibility and philanthropy. Even after Michelle Obama left the White House, her garden continued to thrive. The legacy of the White House Kitchen Garden remained strong, serving as a testament to her efforts and values. First Lady Dr. Jill Biden honored this legacy by sending Michelle a basket filled with fresh produce from the garden. This gesture not only acknowledged Michelle's ongoing connection to the garden, but also celebrated the success and continuation of her initiative. Michelle Obama's involvement in creating and maintaining the White House Kitchen Garden was more than a personal project. It was a significant aspect of her broader mission to promote healthy lifestyles, environmental stewardship, and community engagement. Her garden became a lasting symbol of these values, continuing to provide nourishment and inspiration long after her departure from the White House. As Michelle embarked on new endeavors post-White House, the garden's success and its ongoing contributions to the community provided a fitting reminder of her impact and dedication to improving lives through sustainable practices and healthy living. The garden not only served practical purposes, but also represented a meaningful legacy of Michelle Obama's time as First Lady, reflecting her commitment to positive change and public service. On February 9, 2021, Michelle Obama made an exciting announcement via Twitter that marked a new and intriguing chapter in her post-White House endeavors. She revealed that she would be launching a new children's show on Netflix titled Waffles Mochi, set to premiere on March 16, 2021. In her tweet, Michelle expressed her enthusiasm about the project, stating, "I'm beyond thrilled to share that on March 16th. I'll be launching a new show on a Netflix called Waffles Mochi." She further conveyed her excitement for families and children to join her on the show's adventures, where they would discover, cook, and enjoy delicious food from around the world. Waffles Mochi is an innovative and engaging show that combines educational content with entertainment. The series centers around two puppet characters, Waffles and Mochi, who embark on global missions to explore ingredients and culinary traditions from various cultures. As they travel to kitchens, restaurants, farms, and homes across the globe, Waffles and Mochi engage in cooking activities with renowned chefs, home cooks, children, and celebrities. The show aims to introduce young viewers to a diverse array of foods and cooking techniques, fostering a love for food and an appreciation for different cultures. Michelle Obama plays a significant role in the show, appearing as the owner of a supermarket. Her involvement extends beyond just acting. She also serves as an executive producer, alongside her husband, former President Barack Obama. This production is a project of Higher Ground Productions, the media company founded by the Obamas. Michelle's participation in Waffles Mochi reflects her ongoing commitment to promoting healthy eating habits and encouraging families to cook with fresh ingredients. The collaboration with the Partnership for a Healthier America, an organization focused on improving child nutrition and health, further underscores Michelle's dedication to these causes. The show aims to help kids build healthy habits and support families in cooking together with nutritious ingredients at home. This initiative aligns with Michelle's long-standing advocacy for healthy lifestyles, a theme that was central to her work during her time as First Lady. Waffles Mochi is designed to be a delightful experience for children, but its engaging content and high-quality production make it appealing to viewers of all ages. The combination of entertaining puppetry, global culinary exploration, and Michelle Obama's presence adds a unique and educational dimension to the show. The series promises to be both enjoyable and informative, offering viewers a fun way to learn about food and culture while supporting healthy living. Since leaving her role as First Lady, Michelle Obama has indeed entered a new financial realm, a shift that is hardly surprising given the scope and impact of her post-White House endeavors. Her transition from the White House has allowed her to capitalize on various opportunities that were not available during her tenure as First Lady, where she did not receive a salary despite her extensive work and responsibilities. Michelle Obama's financial journey is noteworthy not only for the significant increase in her earnings post-2017, but also for her impressive pre-White House income. According to Politico, Michelle's 2006 tax returns revealed a substantial income of $316,000 for the year 2005. This amount highlights her success in the professional world prior to Barack Obama's presidency. Michelle's earnings at the time were notably higher than Barack's, excluding his book royalties, underscoring her high earning potential even before she became First Lady. Before 2009, Michelle held several lucrative positions that contributed to her impressive income. According to whitehouse.gov, she worked as a lawyer and served as an associate dean for the University of Chicago. Her role as the president of Community and External Affairs for the University of Chicago Medical Center was particularly notable. This position, which she held in 2005, was a significant contributor to her six-figure salary. In this role, Michelle was responsible for overseeing the institution's community outreach and external relations, a role that undoubtedly came with a substantial salary. The transition from her role as First Lady to her current post-White House life has seen Michelle Obama leveraging her platform and influence in new and financially rewarding ways. Since leaving the White House, Michelle has engaged in various high-profile projects that have significantly increased her income. Her memoir, Becoming, published in 2018, was a major commercial success, selling millions of copies worldwide and generating substantial revenue. The book's success was followed by a highly successful book tour, which further contributed to her financial gains. In addition to her literary success, Michelle has continued to engage in speaking engagements and appearances that command high fees. Her influence and reputation have made her a sought-after speaker at conferences, corporate events, and educational institutions. The financial rewards from these engagements reflect her status as a leading public figure and advocate. Michelle Obama's literary accomplishments are remarkable, both for their impact and their financial success. Her transition from First Lady to a world-renowned author was marked by a groundbreaking publishing deal in 2017 that underscored her significant influence and popularity. In 2017, Penguin Random House, a major player in the publishing industry, signed a historic joint deal with Michelle and Barack Obama worth $65 million. This deal was notable not only for its size, but also for its context. According to the Financial Times, this agreement was one of the largest publishing advances in history. It reflected not only the Obamas' immense personal appeal, but also their considerable influence as public figures. The deal encompassed both Michelle and Barack Obama's memoirs, and it built upon Penguin Random House's prior relationship with the former president. The publisher's chief executive expressed profound excitement about continuing the partnership, emphasizing the transformative impact of the Obamas' words and leadership. The statement, "With their words and their leadership, they changed the world," highlighted the significant value that Penguin Random House saw in the Obamas' literary contributions. Michelle Obama's memoir, Becoming, was the centerpiece of this deal. Released in November 2018, Becoming quickly became a global phenomenon. The book delves into Michelle's life from her childhood on the South Side of Chicago to her years in the White House. It offers a deeply personal and reflective narrative resonating with readers worldwide. The memoir not only achieved commercial success, but also garnered widespread critical acclaim, further cementing Michelle Obama's status as a significant literary figure. The success of Becoming was evident in its sales figures. The book sold millions of copies within its first few months and became one of the best-selling memoirs of all time. Its success was fueled by Michelle's book tour, which was highly publicized and well-received. This tour included appearances at various high-profile events and discussions that further amplified the book's reach and impact. The financial success of Becoming and the broader publishing deal exemplified Penguin Random House's astute investment. The substantial advance paid to the Obamas was a reflection of their marketability and the anticipated success of their memoirs. The returns on this investment quickly became apparent, with Michelle Obama's book alone generating significant revenue and contributing to the overall success of the publishing deal. As of July 2022, Becoming had sold over 17 million copies, according to The Hollywood Reporter. This extraordinary sales figure underscores the book's widespread appeal and Michelle Obama's profound impact on readers. The success of Becoming was not just a financial triumph, but also a cultural milestone. The book received widespread acclaim for its honest and introspective narrative, providing an intimate look into Michelle's life and her role in American history. Its popularity was bolstered by Michelle's extensive book tour, which featured a series of high-profile events and discussions that further amplified the book's reach. Following the success of Becoming, Michelle Obama released a second book, The Light We Carry, Overcoming in Uncertain Times. This book, published outside of the original $65 million deal, marks another significant achievement in Michelle's literary career. The Light We Carry explores themes of resilience, hope, and personal growth, offering readers insights into overcoming challenges in difficult times. The book quickly became a bestseller, securing spots on both the New York Times and USA Today bestseller lists. The success of The Light We Carry not only reflects Michelle's continued relevance and influence, but also indicates that her literary endeavors remain highly valued. Since leaving the White House in 2017, Michelle's speaking engagements have become highly sought after, with her speeches commanding substantial fees. Her expertise and experience make her a valuable speaker for various high-profile events, from corporate conferences to international summits. Her post-White House speaking career has further solidified her reputation as a leading voice on issues such as education, health, and social justice. One notable example of Michelle Obama's lucrative speaking engagements occurred in September 2023. According to the Daily Mail, Michelle was paid nearly $750,000 for a single speech delivered at a German tech fair. This impressive sum reflects the high demand for her presence and the substantial value placed on her contributions. The event, attended by 5,000 people, was a significant gathering where Michelle's address was anticipated to deliver impactful and thought-provoking insights. The fee of $750,000 for one speech underscores the extent of Michelle Obama's influence and the premium associated with her appearances. Her ability to command such a high fee is a testament to her enduring appeal and the value that organizations place on her expertise and perspectives. Her speeches often address critical issues and inspire audiences, making her a highly coveted speaker for events seeking to make a meaningful impact. Michelle Obama's speaking engagements often focus on topics that align with her advocacy work and personal interests. Her speeches cover a range of subjects, including leadership, education, health, and empowerment. She draws from her experiences as First Lady, her memoirs, and her ongoing work with various initiatives to provide audiences with valuable insights and actionable takeaways. The deal, reported by the New York Post, was a substantial investment by Netflix, reflecting the streaming giant's confidence in the Obama's ability to produce impactful and engaging content. The $50 million agreement was designed to support a range of projects that the Obamas would develop through their production company, Higher Ground Productions. This company, named after the Obamas' shared values and aspirations, serves as the platform for their storytelling endeavors. Michelle Obama articulated the vision behind the partnership, emphasizing the power of storytelling to inspire, provoke thought, and foster empathy. In a statement to Variety, she and Barack Obama expressed their belief in the ability of stories to transform perspectives and connect people across different backgrounds. Barack and I have always believed in the power of storytelling to inspire us, to make us think differently about the world around us, and to help us open our minds and hearts to others, Michelle noted. She highlighted Netflix's reputation as a platform that aligns with their goals, making it an ideal partner for their creative projects. The deal with Netflix encompasses a broad range of content, including documentaries, scripted series, and other formats. The Obamas' approach to storytelling is deeply rooted in their commitment to addressing important social issues, exploring diverse perspectives, and highlighting narratives that might otherwise go untold. Their partnership with Netflix enables them to bring these stories to a vast audience, leveraging the platform's global reach to maximize their impact. Since the signing of the deal, Michelle and Barack Obama have worked on several high-profile projects through Higher Ground Productions. One of their notable releases is the documentary American Factory, which examines the cultural and economic challenges faced by a factory in Dayton, Ohio, after it is taken over by a Chinese billionaire. The film, which won the 2020 Academy Award for Best Documentary Feature, reflects the Obamas' interest in addressing complex issues through compelling storytelling. Additionally, the Obamas have been involved in creating content that aligns with their advocacy for education, health, and community empowerment. Their projects aim to engage audiences in meaningful conversations and drive positive change. By utilizing Netflix's extensive platform, they have the opportunity to reach diverse audiences and influence public discourse on important topics. What do you think about the significant changes in Michelle Obama's life recently? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.